Dying Light 2 is a big game, Court. Let's talk about everything to do with Dying Light 2, the hours we got to put into this thing, full breakdown of the little bit of controversy right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Xbox A. I'm Matt. It's Court.
Hey, take off, eh?
Take off, you hoser. What is happening today for you, my friend?
Today was more of that, school, home thing, kid, driving me crazy. But it's not the teacher's fault, not the kid's fault. It's a pandemic. It is what it is. But it's better than complaining about video games on the Twitter space like everybody else is after a tweet that was sent out by Dying Light 2 developer Techland.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a doozy, eh? Because Techland came out over the weekend and said, hey, to fully complete Dying Light 2 Stay Human, you'll need at least 500 hours, almost as long as it would take to walk from Warsaw to Madrid. I don't know, that's 500 hours to complete the game is what they initially put out there. Now, to pause there for a second, my friend. What do you think is behind that? I don't see that as like, wow, let me play this game, because that scared me, and I think it scared a lot of people. But what's the initial problem with this? And then we'll go through their follow-up.
Yeah, so I think it was worded incorrectly. I think they were trying to have fun with it because Techland is in Poland, which is Warsaw, and they were like, hey, we got this huge game, it's 500 hours, and they wanted to have fun with it, the walking thing. But they didn't. They could have worded it differently and said, "Hey, if you did everything in this game, including side, you know what I mean? If you did absolutely everything in this game, it's like walking from Poland to Warsaw, from Warsaw to Madrid, and that is more in line with what I think they wanted to say. But instead, this is the internet, and they got angry.
Yeah,
internet. I wouldn't say angry. I would say more of everybody was like, I'm out, including myself. I read it. I didn't put it out to the public because it is what it is, but I'm like, I'm out. Like, that to me is, I'm out. And that's only based on being a parent and not having enough time. I'm like, I looked at it, I was like, that's a lot of time to spend on this game just to finish it. So we have an article that is gone into more because they come back with some stuff.
For sure. And it is a large game. This is coming over from Polygon. Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the upcoming open world zombie game from Techland, will potentially take, quote, at least 500 hours to fully complete. This is from their official Twitter post over on Saturday. Over the weekend, the studio's tweet spawned some angry discourse as well as some interesting conversation around other long games that's players value. Quote, to fully complete Dying Light 2, we said this, Stay Human, you'll need at least 500 hours, almost as long to walk from Warsaw to Madrid. And then about 2 hours later, Dying Light Twitter account, quote, retweeted itself offering an update because of the community pushback. The updated tweet was this. Update. 500 hours is related to maxing out the game, finishing all the quests, endings, and exploring every part of the world, but a regular player should finish the story plus side quests and do quite a lot of exploring in less than 100 hours, so don't worry, heart emoji face. Before clarification, some fans were not happy that the long-awaited sequel was going to take 500 hours, and the complaints started flying in the comments. For reference, even a completionist playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, including all the Korok seeds, only takes about 188 hours. And then they quote tweeted some stuff. But yeah, Court, they corrected it, or they gave some context, further context. It's going to take about 100 hours if you wanted to do the whole main line and you wanted to do side quests and then venture off as well. Your thoughts? And the internet went wild.
So I believe it was Kyle from Stride PR. I can't remember. It was someone from Stride PR that quote tweeted it as well. And Stride PR is the PR firm that's handling the release of this game. He said that it would take 20 to 30 hours to, I guess, just mainline the campaign, which is understandable. Yep. This reminds me of when the Order 1886 came out and everybody lost their mind because it was like 8 to 10 hours to finish.
No. It was like 6 hours.
Yeah. It wasn't long. I can't remember how long it took, but I remember you could get the platinum really easily, and I enjoyed it. I am a firm believer that if the story is good, however long it takes, it is what it is, as long as you're in that world and you're okay with it. We seem to be forgetting that there's other games that we're into, and we don't realize, like you and I are playing the Division 2 again, and I got you into it, and I just looked. I have played 47 hours already of this game. I have also played on my PlayStation.
Yeah, how many?
300 hours.
Yeah, there it
300
is.
hours.
There it is.
So I can't say, I can't go into a world and not play as many hours. I'm sure people play Fortnite. I'm sure people play Call of Duty. The hours tick up and tick up. I remember Witcher 3. I think I put almost 200 hours into that game to finish it. And that's because I wanted to do the side quest. And I understand there's completionists. If the world warrants it, people will put the 500 hours. If they don't, it is like, I don't understand the gatekeeping that was involved in getting angry at this.
Yeah.
I said I was out, and that's just basically, okay, I have a kid, and I look at if I'm going to play a game, how much time do I have? Like I said to you, Division's going to be that one that you and I play together, and then I'll go play a game that I've gone back and into, which is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which that was a story that bothered me. And I told you about it at the time. I was like, it took me 90 hours to finish this game, and I think it would have took me, I think 60 of that was just the story.
Jeez.
And that bothered me at the time. And that was also because the console just came out, and I'm like, okay, like I just feel like that was the only game I played, and I started not caring because I wanted to play Miles Morales. Now, that's me personally. Everybody has their different perspective. I've now since gone back into with the Cassandra DLC and started playing Valhalla again, and I'm loving the world again. But then when I go to the map and look at it, I'm like, woof, I haven't even clicked everything off. So Valhalla is probably 500 hours if you wanted to do everything.
It's just it seems like it's just a PR slip or just misstep when they should have, like you said, they should have just framed it differently to get that point across. You could just say like it's just a giant gobstopper. Like if you want it to be this massive experience, great, you're gonna get your money's worth, assuming the story and everything gels and it plays well. And it was very critically acclaimed, the first one. So if it does what it did in the first one, amps it up, then you're gonna have a great time. Yeah, fix the controls, update the controls a bit. You're gonna have a great game. I guess I am like you. I have a little bit more of a problem with the internet and the gatekeeping and folks outwardly. I mean, that's what Twitter is, but just venting and saying, no, I will not play this game. Well, wait a minute. It's not even out yet. And for people to come out and say, shame, or just, no, I'm not playing, this is ridiculous. This other game is only 100 hours and this game is 200 hours. How is this 500 hours? Why don't we get the game and experience it for ourselves? For all we know, we have a 5-hour campaign ahead of us. We don't know. So it's all assumptions. I'm like you. I'm not in the camp of like, well, I'm going to go on Twitter actively and be like, no, I'm not playing game because you said this thing. Like, it has to be pretty substantial. This is just more of them just trying to promote.
Yeah, and I know you're sort of in the same boat as me. And like some games, I'm like, okay, like an Assassin's Creed game, I know what I'm in for, and I just don't understand. We went from these games aren't long enough to these games are too long, and you know what? There's tons of games. Like I'm still waiting for the update to Cyberpunk 2077, and supposedly it's coming out in March. That's the rumors as of right now, and I know that's going to be a long game, but I'm going to jump back in. I've told you this year I'm going to try and play as many of the old Assassin's Creed games when we get Ubisoft Plus. I know those are long games, but I enjoy being in them. So if Techland made a game that is just as good as the first one, I'm pretty sure people are going to enjoy it. If you want 500 hours, you get it. If you want 80 hours, you get it. If you want 30 hours, you get it. But you're going to get, as you said, your money's worth. Like, you look at this game and go, oh my God, as a Canadian, games are $90.
Yep.
I at least know that's $90 well spent if I enjoyed the first one.
Yes. And if it reviews well, if people are talking positively about it, it's probably a game that I should pick up because I did really enjoy the first one. And I struggle with it if a game is today's day and age, it's not on Game Pass. I struggle more with that. I should just say I don't struggle. I just am very aware and I'm very strategic with what games I will actually put my dollars out for because it's $90. And if the game is not clicking for me with $90, that's hard because I got to turn around and I got to, if I get a physical, I can at least try to resell it. But if I go digital, I'm out. And that's a real bummer nowadays because there's just too much, and there's too much that can take my mind share away, right? I can just be like, yeah, I'm not into this. I'm not into a 500 hour. Right now, the game doesn't speak to me because on my end, maybe like you, I'm playing The Division with you, and it's fun. And I'm not in the mood for another long, even 20, 30 hour experience that's kind of like open world and doing similar things, I would want to turn around right now and like have a palate cleanse and go, I need Mario, or I need a 5-10 hour campaign, linear single player, story driven experience. But yeah, it's tricky, and I think it's just at the end of the day, it's like enjoy your video games. If you play your video game and you like your game, then play your game, and if you think it's too
Yeah.
big, then don't play game, and that's cool. Like that's awesome. You do your thing.
Yeah, like don't yell at other people or the developer or like
Yeah, don't get on the
stop
developers.
gatekeeping. Just
Yeah.
stop gatekeeping. Just
Getting on
you
the
know what?
developers
Video
for
games
doing
are fun and keep it that way. Like
And they
I
are-
tried to play the Dying Light again, remember? And I
know.
messaged you, I was like, I can't do it. The controls are they're not good, and I hope they change them. They're just not good. And I was like, I can't do this. I know how long of a game this is going to be. And I'm like, you know what? I'm out. I need something different. So I went and played Star Wars because it was like, I just want to pew pew and take a lightsaber and kill things. And I was like, all right, let me go do that.
And that's the big thing too, right? Is you can anybody could the great thing nowadays is that there's so many options. You have so much to play. And we don't have to sit there and go, well, I can only get the one game a month. And some people might do that, and that's, it is what
That's
it
what
is.
we grew up with, right? It was not
Yeah.
even that. One game every couple months, maybe.
Maybe.
And
And then you're going
now
for
people
rentals.
can get Game Pass and just play whatever they want.
And that's what's great. And at least I wish people wouldn't dunk and roadblock developers when they're just trying to promote their work that they've been working on for several years on a game that most people are generally excited for. But I don't know. It's kind of like, maybe the lesson is just like, let's just hold off until it's actually out in people's hands. And
Yep.
then we can all make our judgment calls, whether it's good, bad, don't care. It's too long. It's too short. It's whatever.
Yep.
And then that's great. Because some people are going to be amazed by this game. They're going to love that it's a 20, 30, 40 hour campaign, 500 plus hour experience. That's amazing because you are going to get the value out of it if you like it. And if you don't like it, then just play something else.
Facts. But let us know in the comments. Do you like long games? Do you like short games? Does it matter, or is it the world? Let us know what you think of the brouhaha that happened over the weekend.
Thanks for watching. See you guys later.